Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing absolutely fine. As you have seen in the title that in this video, I will show you top 7 best draft strategy to counter the enemy. Because once you reach master rank, draft is one of the most important thing in Pokemon Unite. The draft almost decide whether you're gonna win or lose. If you do the draft properly, you will get lots of advantage during the match. Likewise, if you don't do the draft properly, you will get lots of disadvantage during the match. But don't worry, in this video, I will be explaining you all the important things about the draft pick with top 7 best strategy to counter the enemy in the draft pick. By the way, if you are new here, make sure to subscribe to my channel so you can get more this type of Unite content. Now, without wasting any time, let's begin the video. Before we begin the strategy of the draft pick, let me quickly and shortly explain you about the basic of the draft pick because there might be some new players as well. As we all know that there are total of 4 bans in the draft pick. The 2 ban will be done by your teammates and the other 2 will be done by the enemy. If your teammates got the first chance to ban, it means that your teammates will get the first chance to pick any Pokemon. Likewise, if enemy got the first chance to ban, it means that they will get the first chance to pick any Pokemon. And to ban any Pokemon, you will get 15-second time. Likewise, to pick any Pokemon, you will get 25-second time. And this was all about the basic of the draft pick. Now let's begin the top 7 strategy of the draft pick. Draft pick strategy number 1. Counter the enemy through the health item. As we all know that in the draft pick, we can see what type of Pokemon the opposing team has picked. And by looking at the Pokemon of the opposing team, we can counter them by using a correct health item. For example, if enemy team picks lots of healing ability Pokemon like Clefable, Blissey, Scizor and many more Pokemon which has the healing ability. At that time, to counter them, use health item like Curse Bengal or Curse Incense. By using one of these 2 items, you can decrease the healing ability of the opposing Pokemon. Because of this, it will make the healing ability Pokemon very weak, and when their healing ability decreases, you can kill them easily. But remember this, you have to use the Curse Incense only on special attack Pokemon like Glaceon, Espeon, Pikachu and many more Pokemon which deals special attack damage. Likewise, use the Curse Bengal only on attack Pokemon like Blaziken, Gyarados, Charizard and many more Pokemon which deals only attack damage. In the same way, enemy can also counter you by using Curse health item. That's why I would like to suggest you that always pick only one healing ability Pokemon in your team so that enemy can get confused whether they should use Curse health item or not, because most of the players does not use Curse health item only for one healing ability Pokemon. They use Curse health item only if they see 2 or 3 healing ability Pokemon in the opposing team. This was all about the strategy number 1. Now let's move on to the next. Draft pick strategy number 2. Ban very wisely. In this strategy, you must ban a Pokemon which might create trouble for you and your teammates. What I mean by that is, for example, if you are going to use any Pokemon which has lots of dash abilities like Zorark, Urshifu, Absol and many more Pokemon like them, at that time always ban Clefable. I don't know whether you know about this or not, but Clefable can easily counter any dash Pokemon by using Gravity. As we all know that the Gravity moveset of the Clefable creates a circle around itself, and inside that circle you cannot use any kind of dash moveset. Neither can you enter inside the circle by using any kind of dash moveset, not even the eject button. That is the reason why whenever you and your teammates are going to use any kind of dash ability Pokemon, at that time always ban Clefable. One more thing, whenever you and your teammates are going to use a Pokemon which totally fights from the close range, for example Dragonite, Charizard, Gyarados and many more Pokemon like them, at that time always ban Pokemon like Trevenant, Mr. Mime and Wigglytuff. These 3 Pokemon has the ability to counter the Pokemon which fights from the close range, because these 3 Pokemon has lots of stun. Because of that, they don't even give the enemy a chance to move. For example, Trevenant can continuously stun you and don't even give you a chance to move. That is the reason why it's become super problematic for the close range Pokemon to fight against the Pokemon which has lots of stun. So always make sure to ban very wisely according to the Pokemon that you are going to use. That was all about the strategy number 2. Now let's move on to the next one. Drop pick strategy number 3. Pick Pokemon to counter the enemy's Pokemon. This strategy is completely opposite to the strategy number 2. In this strategy, you must pick a Pokemon to counter the enemy's Pokemon. For example, if enemy team has lots of dash ability Pokemon like Zoroark, Urshifu, Absol and many more Pokemon like them, at that time if you get a chance, try to pick Clefable. By using Gravity, Clefable can counter any dash ability Pokemon. And Clefable also has the ability to protect you from being assassinated by other speedster, and can also provide healing to the whole teammates by using Moonlight. That is the reason why Clefable is also being picked in the professional tournaments. Likewise, if enemy team has lots of close range fighting Pokemon like Dragonite, Charizard, Gyarados and many more Pokemon like them, at that time to counter them, pick Pokemon like Trevenant, Wigglytuff and Mr. Mime. As I have told you earlier, these Pokemon has lots of stun. They can continuously stun any Pokemon, and moreover the Pokemon who fights in the close range are very weak against the Pokemon which has lots of stun. So if you are a defender or supporter player, make sure to pick a Pokemon which can counter the enemy's Pokemon. This was all about the strategy number 3. Now let's move on to the next one. Drop pick strategy number 4. Take the full heal. I have seen lots of players making mistake in the drop pick by not taking a proper battle item. Only banning and picking a proper Pokemon is not enough. In the drop pick, you must also select a correct battle item according to the enemy's pick. That is the reason why you must use full heal if enemy has lots of stun Pokemon. For example, Buzzwole, Trevenant, Mr. Mime and many more Pokemon like them. Because Buzzwole is kind of Pokemon which totally relies on killing the enemy by stun effect. And if you somehow manage to escape from the stun effect of Buzzwole, you can easily counter him. Same goes for the Trevenant. Trevenant is also one of the Pokemon which totally relies on stun effect while fighting against the enemy. So if you somehow manage to escape from the stun effect of Trevenant also, you can easily counter him. That is the reason why whenever I am fighting against these kind of stun Pokemon, I always prepare to use full heal against them. Because by using full heal, you can easily escape from the stun effect they use. So next time if you see lots of stun Pokemon on the enemy's side, make sure to use full heal against them so that you can easily counter the enemy's Pokemon and have little bit of advantage in the battlefield. That was all about the strategy number 4. Now let's move on to the next one. Drop pick strategy number 5. Counter the durable Pokemon by using Burst Damage Dealer. What I mean by this is, whenever you see the opposing Pokemon picking a very durable Pokemon which can also deal decent amount of damage, for example Aegislash, Tyranitar, Scizor and many more Pokemon like them which are very durable, at that time to counter them, pick a Burst Damage Dealer Pokemon like Gengar, Absol, Inteleon and many more Pokemon like them which has the capabilities to deal very high amount of burst damage. Without the Burst Damage Dealer Pokemon, it's almost become impossible to kill the high durability all-rounder, because high durability all-rounder might deal little bit of less damage, but the healing ability they have is very high. Because of that, if you try to fight them without the burst damage, you will definitely get lost by them. And I have seen lots of people, especially the new players, making mistake by trying to fight the very high durable all-rounder without the Burst Damage Dealer Pokemon. So do not be a foolish players like them. Whenever you see the opposing Pokemon picking lots of durable Pokemon, at that time to counter them, pick a very high Burst Damage Dealer Pokemon like Absol, Gengar, Inteleon and many more Pokemon like them which can penetrate through the defense of the opposing team. And if you do so, you shall have a little bit of advantage during the match. That was all about the strategy number 5. Now let's move on to the next one. Drop pick strategy number 6. Pick the correct Pokemon. This strategy is one of the most useful strategy in the drop pick, especially if you are a solo ranker. In this strategy, what you have to do is, whenever you see lots of attacker Pokemon in the opposing team, at that time to counter them, pick Pokemon like Zoroark, Absol, Gengar and Meowscarada, because these 4 speedster are best Pokemon to destroy any type of attacker. Because of the damage, the agility and the mobility they have, they can easily go in the backline of the opposing team and kill the attacker instantly. In the solo ranking, the random player always picks lots of attacker Pokemon. So at that time, if you pick speedster like Gengar, you can destroy all the attacker instantly, because as we all know that the damage of the Gengar is so high that he can one-shot any squishy Pokemon instantly. Not only that, by using the Unite move, Gengar can easily go in the backline of the opposing team and take down all the attacker by himself. So next time when you see lots of attacker Pokemon in the opposing team, make sure to pick speedster like Gengar, Zoroark, Absol and Meowscarada, so that you can have a very huge advantage during the match. But make sure that you know how to play those speedster properly, or else it will be totally a waste. That was all about the strategy number 6. Now let's move on to the next one. Draft pick strategy number 7. Try to be the last picker. This is one of the best draft pick strategy in Pokemon Unite. When you have the last pick in the draft pick, you get lots of advantage. It will be much more easier for you to counter pick the enemy's Pokemon. For example, when you have the last pick, you can see whatever type of Pokemon the enemy has picked, and according to that you can easily counter pick their Pokemon. In this clip, I am the last picker. As you can see in this clip, the enemy has 3 attacker Pokemon in their team. So to easily counter them, I will be picking a speedster, which is Gengar. Now because of this draft pick, I will be getting lots of advantage during the match, because Gengar can destroy all those attacker. That is the reason why having a last pick in the draft pick is one of the best way to counter pick the enemy. And that was all about the top 7 best draft pick strategy in Pokemon Unite. And if this video was helpful for you, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.